Oh, y'all know what time it is. What time is it right now, brothers and sisters? What time is it? It is time to hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. It's time to hit the Cash App. For the first annual Unapologetically African Festival here at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, registration is now open. Vending requests is now open. Performance request is now open. Everybody must register, and you must show up with a state-issued driver's or non-driver's license only. Registration is open, and you must show up with a state-issued driver's license or non-driver's license only.
Your timeline, there's things that's not in proper order. Like I said before, Umar, your papers is not in order. Your papers is not in order. You have some missing links, missing shit, missing time.
Anti-Afro Svengalis, I had to come on here to double and triple check, plus confirm and verify that everybody is understanding the timeline that makes it certain that Umar Johnson is full of it when it comes to this permit application for this non-existent block party. It's a straw setup to get money. Do you get the timeline? Umar posted this video on the 5th of August requesting these applications for vendors. The 5th of August. He's so banking on the fact that nobody looks up anything. He says any and everything, thinking all he needs to do is put on some ridiculous, embarrassing show. The gym? What kind of lure is that? Water? He is just trying to get people to think something's going to happen with the abandoned bomb shelter, then throw in the block party so he can get money for the here and now. Let's get back to the timeline. Do you get what's happening here? Did you read the screen? Do you see what the city requires? Vendors have to get approval from the city. And what is the timeline for that approval? 30 days in advance. And that is considered a temporary approval, a provisional approval. But they have to send it in and get the verification or the provisional approval 30 days, at least 30 days in advance. So if these people are messing around with Umar Johnson sending in applications to him, they're not sending it to the city, and they're going to miss the deadline. He is full of it, people. He has no intention. Never has, never did, people. He's sitting up there lying straight to his teeth. He's trying to set up some excuse after he gets the money. They need to be sending their applications for a permit, even if it's a temporary permit, to the city of Wilmington to get approval from the city. Umar is not approving anything by way of vendor permits. Umar is simply casing the joint. Every single document he receives is a potential ripoff source. He's been asking for resumes for how long, people? To work at this non-existent school. You can just see him going through these so-called resumes, trying to size up who he can take advantage of, who he can rip off. This is just another ploy. There is no way these people can get their applications in to the city of Wilmington within the 30-day window. Now, the only other option that would work for Umar is if these vendors already have a permit on file with the city of Wilmington. And what are the odds that a reputable business would be dealing with Umar Johnson. What are the odds on that? And let's take it some steps further down the road. You see right here, this is taken from the documentation from the city of Wilmington. If you do not abide by the regulations set forth by the city of Wilmington with respect to block parties, you can be barred from future participation. And what is Umar Johnson doing? Advertising the event prior to receiving approval. He's telling people about where to go, what time, how long they're going to be there. For 12 hours? 12 hours. He thinks just because there could be running water in that building, for all we know, could be just running water in that area of the building. Nothing that Umar says is to be believed, people. Umar is plain and simple trying to get you to quickly dip into your pocket. The quicker he can talk, the faster he can rattle out a story, the more likely you're going to dip into your pocket and give him the money. And if you notice, when he came on this time, right away, he started screaming about money and donations and cash apps. The last time someone pointed out it was like 13 minutes and change. He waited until he mentioned cash app or donations. Right off the bat, he starts screaming about, hit the cash app. Well, much louder than that. I can't even scream like he screams. Screaming. Like, is that really going to get people to hit the cash app? If you're listening, were you tempted to hit the cash app? At the very beginning of the video, were you inclined to hit the cash app? Placing that message at the beginning of the video simply shows you how desperate Umar Johnson is to reel somebody in for the here and the now. Because he has apparently here and now issues that are not resolved. See, the only thing Umar can do is to float all these stories about how great this so-called abandoned bomb shelter is going to be, giving people hope where no hope exists, and then getting money from them. That's the goal. Now, what does Umar Johnson thinks he's doing now? He keeps switching the ages that he's going to be focusing on. He doesn't know what he's going to be doing. But for now, he's focusing on getting cash money for himself. That is the number one goal. He'll take the chump change out of Cash App. The Cash App has limitations. And we know he's booted from GoFundMe. Check out what the city is saying must be done before the situation progresses to the next stage. So I guess the day of the so-called block party, some people are saying Umar is going to be having some event regardless. Well, if he professes to have some event regardless without a permit, he will be in violation of city regulations and he will be subjected to yet another fine. That's what he'll be stuck with, people. Nobody is going to run around here and pretend Umar Johnson is really serious about this block party unless people are so thoroughly indoctrinated that you can't even begin to reason with them, just like you can't reason with Umar. He has tunnel vision when it comes to getting money any way he can, and this is just another ploy. Do not register. Do not sign up. Do not give any of your personal information to Umar or anyone associated with him. One thing you can be damn sure of. Your information will be guarded here. Your information will be protected here. You will not be receiving information that you do not want to receive. Umar Johnson continues to shove every and anything down your throat, thinking you want to hear about this and that to cover all kinds of ground, stalling people, going off the dome, and he makes absolutely no sense. I'm just thinking about the people who just might show up there and give an ID to Umar, to show an ID to Umar, because you know he's going to be standing there looking. What business is it of Umar to have your state issued ID? Remember, the spirit of block parties would be your block. You would need ID from people on your block because the block party would be for people on your block. And everybody knows the next person. And even if the rule is you can bring two people, odds are you know the people they're going to bring. Who the hell does Umar know over there? What the hell business does he have asking for ID? He's not a police officer. He doesn't have any right to ask for an ID. What the hell is the ID going to prove? Nothing other than him getting your information and trying to match your face with a potential name, or even getting a name. And guess what Umar Johnson will do with that? Dox you. This person was at the block party. Let's see if this person should go in the book of Negro. Oh, people, it's sad. If anyone shows up, the odds are they're going to go ahead and give Umar their information. He knows it. That's what he's hoping for. Even if they shut down the shit, he's hoping to get at least 5 or 10 names, addresses, and phone numbers as potential rip-off options. No one says it's a sin to put an application in for a block party and end up not having the block party. Surely they deal with that on a regular basis. Things happen. It's about your intent. And we know Umar Johnson never intended to have any block party, announcing it 2 months in advance. And the only thing he's asking for is money. He's putting nothing into this. He's not contributing anything because he knows he doesn't intend to have a block party. He simply intends to get your money and hightail it out of here like he always does. Umar has a history of announcing events, getting money, and booking it out of Dodge. That's what Umar is doing with this situation. He has no intention, just like he has no intention of opening up any school. Be safe, people. Don't depart with your money, whether it's hard-earned money, whether it's money for public assistance or government aid, whatever the funding is, it doesn't belong to Umar. He's not using it for anything other than to support himself. He's an overgrown welfare case. He is on the system by proxy, and he has a nerve to talk to people about independence. He is being carried by single black women, and he has been for the last 15 years. Yet another ploy is this block party. We are going to continue to make sure we are on top of it, because from this point forward, Umar asking for any money is certified fraudulent activity that needs to be shut down. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.